G'day. Do you know every business has two faces? There's the front, the bit customers see, the sales conversations, the brand, the promises made. Then there's the back, the operations, the delivery, the systems that actually make things happen. The front gets the attention, the back gets whatever's left over until something breaks. So let's name what's going on for SME owners when it comes to operations. Supplier dependency. You've got one supplier for that critical input. The relationship is good, everything works, until they have a problem that becomes your problem, until they raise prices and you have no alternative. Delivery bottlenecks. You've won the customers, now you can't serve them fast enough. Orders stack up, lead times blow out, quality slips because speed matters more. Quality wobbles. Something goes out that shouldn't have. Maybe customers complain, maybe they just don't come back and you never know why. And just remember that if one customer takes the time and effort to complain, it is likely that they represent 10 customers who haven't bothered complaining, but maybe have voted with their feet. So just bear that in mind. Systems held together with workarounds. The spreadsheet that bridges two systems. The process that only works because someone knows the trick. It works until that person leaves. Inventory headaches. Too much stock ties up cash. Too little means you can't fulfill. You're constantly guessing, never quite right. Capacity crunches. More work than you can handle. Do you turn away business? Push your team past breaking? Invest in capacity you might not need in the future? Every option has a cost. Here's what I learned. Most SME operations evolved rather than being designed. In the early days, you did whatever worked. You improvised, you found workarounds. That scrappy approach got you here. But the systems you built for 5 people don't work for 20. The duct tape is shown. The owner's attention goes to the front of the business because that's where the money comes in. Operations only demands attention when something breaks. So you fix the break and move on, never addressing the underlying fragility. Supplier concentration happens because finding good suppliers is hard. When you find one, you stick with them. You become dependent without realizing it. The documentation gap grows quietly. When you were small, everyone knew everything. That doesn't scale, but building proper systems feels like bureaucracy. So critical knowledge ends up in fewer and fewer heads. So what do? Map your single points of failure. Where are you dependent on one supplier, one person, one system? What would happen if it failed tomorrow? The answers tell you where to focus. Document the workarounds. That trick someone does every morning, write it down. The spreadsheet that makes everything work, turn it into a proper process. Documentation is insurance. Build supplier relationships, not just transactions. Know your key suppliers as partners. At the same time, quietly identify alternatives. Options create resilience. Invest in capacity before you desperately need it. The time to build is before the crunch, not during. Treat quality as a system, not an outcome. Clear standards, consistent processes, regular checks. Quality doesn't happen by hoping. The back of your business is what allows the front to make promises worth making. A brilliant sales effort means nothing if operations can't deliver. This is part 5 of a series on the 100 challenges New Zealand business owners face pretty much every day. Subscribe if you want to follow along. If you'd like to talk through what's creaking in your machine, there's a link below. No pitch, just a conversation. Okay, cheers. See you next time.